Very good morning, dear students. Dear students, we started our geography chapter 2, which was the physical features of India. And children, we discussed that the physical features of India, the India's physical features, they are grouped under different physiographic divisions, and they are the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, and the islands. Fine, children. So you can just check out this map. On the top are the Himalayan mountains, then the green part is the northern plains, then the peninsular plateau is the gray one, the Indian desert is the yellow one, the coastal plains are the sky blue, the dark blue one, and the islands, we have two group of islands, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Children, we started with the Himalayan mountains, and we discussed that the Himalayan mountains, they are divided into three parallel ranges. The first one was Himadri, which is also known as the Great Himalayas. They are at the northernmost top, and all the prominent Himalayan peaks, they are there. Many glaciers, they originate from the this Himadri range. Then after that comes the lesser Himalayas or the Himachal range. So we discussed that some major, Pir Panjal range. It is in the Kashmir Valley. It is at the southwest boundary, makes the southwest boundary. And then Dhauladhar range is also there. That is in Kangra. And then Mahabharat range is there, which is in Nepal, which is not in our country. Fine. And after that, children, we came to the Shivaliks, and we discussed that the Shivaliks are the outermost range, and the valleys here, they are covered with the gravel and all the soil alluvium. Fine. The valleys which are lying between the lesser Himalayas and the Shivaliks, they are known as the dunes, and we discussed that there are different dunes like Dehradun, Kotli Dune, Patli Dune. So they are known as the dunes. Fine. Now, children, see, we will discuss the next topic from here. That besides the longitudinal divisions, children, the Himalayas, they have been divided on the basis of region from west to east. Fine. So west direction is towards your left hand, and east direction is towards your right hand. Yes. Fine. So these divisions are done on the basis of different river valleys. Fine. So for example, if you just the part of Himalayas which is lying between the Indus and the Satluj river, you can just check out that area traditionally is known as the Punjab Himalayas, and it is also known as Kashmir and Himachal Himalayas from west to east respectively. Fine. The part of Himalayas, children, which is lying from Satluj to Kali river, you can see in the map, that is known as the Kumaon Himalayas. And after that, from Kali river to Teesta river, the purple part, you can see the colors also. Pink one is the Punjab Himalayas, yellow one is the Kumaon Himalayas, then the purple part, which is the Kali and Teesta rivers, they are the Nepal Himalayas. Fine. And children, the part lying between the Teesta and the Dihang rivers, that is your Assam Himalayas. Fine. Now, there are regional names also in these broad categories. Fine, many regional names are also there. The Brahmaputra, it is marking the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas, children. Now, beyond the Dihang, fine, the Himalayas, they are bending. You can see the sharp bend there in the map, and they are spreading along the eastern boundary of India. Now, they are known as Purvanchal, or the eastern hill and mountains. You can see the Purvanchal. Where is Purvanchal? The hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, children. They are full of sandstones, and these sandstones are the sedimentary rocks. Now, this area is covered with forest, children. Fine, these forests are running parallel to the ranges and the valleys. Fine, the Purvanchal consists of Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills, and Mizo Hills. So, this was all about your northern Himalayas. Now, we will shift towards the northern plains. Fine, children. So, the northern plains. Now, children, the northern plains, you all know, they have been formed with the major three major river systems. Fine. So, what were those river systems? The Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. Fine. So, this plain is a what type of soil it contains? Alluvial soil, and all the deposit or the alluvium which was coming from the Himalayas, it just gathered in the foothills of Himalayas, and it took millions of years to form these fertile plains. And your plains, children, they spread in the area of 7 lakh square kilometers. They are, they're, if you talk about how much long they are 2400 kilometers long. And if you talk about their means how much broad they are, 250 to 320 kilometers broad. And you all know that these plains, they are densely populated, and the three reasons why they are densely populated is rich soil, fine, adequate water supply, and children favorable climate. So these are the three reasons why the northern plains are densely populated. Now, children, all the rivers which are coming from the northern mountains, they are involved in the depositional work, means they are depositing whatever they are bringing. Fine. So, in some time, their slope becomes gentle as they have a lot of, uh, lot of deposits in them. So that results in the formation of riverine islands. Fine, children. So the rivers in their lower course, they split in the numerous channels. When a river splits in numerous channels, it is known as, these channels are known as distributaries. Now, children, northern plains are broadly divided into three sections, and you can see in the map the first section is the western part of the northern plains, which you can call the Punjab plains, and it is formed by Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain, it lies in the Pakistan. Fine. The Indus and its tributaries, what are they? Jhelum, Chenab, Rabi, Beas, Satluj, they all are originating from the Himalayas. And this section of the plain is known as Doab. Fine. Then the Ganga plain, they extend between the Ghaggar river and the Teesta river. Fine. And it is covering, you can just see in the map, it is covering, states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and to its east it's going. And the Assam, it is in the Brahmaputra plain. The northern plains, they are generally described as flat. They are flat, they don't have variations. But children, it's not true. Fine. The vast plains, they have diverse relief features. So according to the variation, the northern plains, they are divided into four. Fine. So they are divided into four on the basis of their relief. So, okay, the rivers after, when they are descending from the mountains. They are depositing the pebbles in the narrow belt of 8 to 16 kilometers width, and this runs parallel to the slopes of Shivalik. So this area is known as Bhabar. Fine, all the streams they disappear here. Fine, after that, after this belt comes the next area. All the streams are disappearing in the Bhabar. Now south to this belt of Bhabar, the streams are again re-emerging, the rivers are re-emerging, and they are creating a wet, swampy and marshy region, which is known as the Terai region, and it is to the south of Bhabar, I told you. Fine. So this area was very thickly forested region, and it was full of wildlife. But the forests were cleared to create agricultural land when the people from Pakistan they came here after partition and they settled here. Fine. The largest part of the northern plains is formed by the older alluvium, children, millions of years. Fine. And these floodplains of the river, they are present in a terrace like feature, means their height is a bit above. So that part is known as the Bhangar. Fine. And it, this soil region, mostly it contains the kankars. Fine. Then there are some new and younger deposits of the floodplains. They are the khadar, and they renew every year, children, and that's why they are very fertile and they are very ideal for the intensive agriculture. Fine. So this was all about today's topic. Thank you and have a nice day.